Good morning, class 7th. This is your biology book. Okay, we were discussing chapter number 2nd. We have completed the explanation, exercises, short answers, and 8 long answers in our previous video. Okay, so in today's video, I am going to give you question number 9th, long answer, question number 9th, 10th, some differentiate between the following, think critically, and diagram based question. Okay, so I just request you all to note down all the answers, and if you have any confusion you can ask me later. Question number 9th, long answer. It is, what is lymph? Describe its function. Okay, what is lymph? Describe its function. For this answer you have to open your page number 22. Page number 22. It is from here. Lymph, topic lymph, page number 22, topic lymph. You have to write it down from here. Lymph is a clear, straw-colored, watery fluid that surrounds the body cells. Okay, it is a clear fluid, watery fluid that surrounds the body cells. And it picks up fat, bacteria, and other unwanted materials from the blood. Okay, it picks up all the unwanted materials from the blood. So this was your short note on lymph. Understood? This is your long answer. This is about lymph and this is its function. Okay? It is quite short. Okay? Now comes your next long answer 10th. 10th is, state the structure of a neuron. This is the most important question in the chapter. Okay? Structure of neuron. For this answer, you have to move to page number 25th. Page number 25th, structure of neuron. You have to start from the first line. Page number 25th from the first line. A neuron is the basic structural unit of the nervous system. You have to write this answer in points, okay, so that you can memorize it easily. So your first point is, a neuron is the basic structural unit of the nervous system. It is the basic structural unit, okay. Neurons carry forward the messages from the body to the brain and vice versa. This is your second point, okay. What is the function of neurons? It carry forward the messages from the body to the brain and then from the brain to the body, okay. Now third point is, each nerve cell consists of a centrally located cell body or cyton, okay. Each nerve cell has a centrally located cyton and that is cell body, okay. Fourth point is, the cell body contains the nucleus and hair-like extensions called dendrons. Only write that point, that words which I am dictating, okay. These middle words which I am not dictating, you don't need to write that. We have to make it short, okay. So your fourth point is, cell body has nucleus, okay, and it contains hair-like extensions, and those hair-like extensions are known as dendrons, okay. Now fifth point is, dendrons further divide and form dendrites, okay. These dendrons, they further divide to form these branches are known as dendrites, okay. Now sixth point is, one of the dendrite is longer than the rest and is called axon. So one of the dendrite, it is longer and it is extended, okay, and this is known as axon, okay. Now last point is, several axons are bundled together to form a nerve, and many axons, they are bundled together and they form a nerve. Understood? This is the whole structure of a neuron. I am explaining it with the diagram, okay. So this neuron, it is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. What is the work of neuron? What is the function of neuron? It carry forward the messages from the brain to this body to the brain and then vice versa, okay. Now each nerve cell, it has a centrally located body, okay, cell body. This cell body is known as cyton, and inside that cyton there is a nucleus, okay. Now it has some hair-like extensions. These are known as dendrons, and these dendrons are further divided into branches. These are known as dendrites, okay. Now one of the dendron is too long and extended. This is axon, and several axons are bundled together to form a nerve, okay. So this was your answer number 10. You have to, whenever in exam also, whenever this question will come, you have to write the structure also and you have to draw the diagram also. This diagram is very, very, very important, okay. So this is your answer number 10th, long answer 10th, okay. So here we end up our long answers, okay. Now comes your differentiate between the following. So your first difference is bone and cartilage. First difference is bone and cartilage. It is on your page number 21. It is, here is a table given. Page number 21. The table is given. Table number 2.2. Table number 2.2, the difference between bone and cartilage. Okay, so we are discussing the points. First point is, it is hard and porous tissue. Okay, bone is a hard and porous tissue, but cartilage is soft and non-porous. Then bone is non-flexible in nature. You cannot turn and twist it, but cartilage is flexible in nature. You can twist your ears, you can twist your nose, okay? So it is flexible in nature. Then blood vessels are present in bones, but blood vessels are absent in cartilage. Cells of the bones are called osteocytes, but the cells of the cartilage are called chondrocytes. Okay, bone forms the framework of our body and cartilage provides support and flexibility to the body parts. So this was your difference between bone and cartilage. Okay, now your second difference is between voluntary and involuntary muscles. Okay, voluntary and involuntary muscles. So for this answer, you have to come on page number voluntary and involuntary muscles. It might be under muscular tissue. Okay, so you have to come on the page number 24. Table is given here, 2.4. But there are 3 columns given in this: voluntary, involuntary and cardiac. So we are asked about only voluntary and involuntary muscles. So you will not write the third column. You just have to write the voluntary and involuntary muscles, and any 4 points you can write. Okay, so we are discussing the points here. Involuntary muscles, striation of light and dark bands is present, but involuntary, no striation is there. Voluntary, they are under the control of individual's will, but involuntary are not under the control of individual's will. Okay, voluntary, they are multinucleate. Okay, involuntary, they are uninucleate. Then voluntary, they are present in hands and legs, but involuntary, they are present in the wall of internal organs like stomach and intestine. Okay, voluntary, what is the function of voluntary? It helps in movement of bones and they get tired when overworked. Okay, when you move your hands, you move your legs, if you're doing exercise, they might get tired. Okay, then involuntary help in the functioning of internal organs. For example, food moves very easily due to the involuntary muscles present in the stomach. So it helps in the functioning of internal organs. Okay, so this was your difference between voluntary and involuntary muscles. Okay. Now comes your next difference, that is blood and lymph. Okay, the next difference is blood and lymph. So it is on your page number, you have to go to page number 22. Page number 22. Just the first points, okay? Here blood is composed of both the liquid part and the cellular part. The liquid part consists of straw-colored fluid called plasma, and the cellular part composed of 3 types of cells: red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. So this is your point for blood, okay? Now point for this lymph is a clear straw-colored watery fluid that surrounds the body cells. It picks up fats, bacteria and other unwanted materials from the blood. Okay, so this 2 things were in your answers also, and you have to write it in difference also. Understood? So in blood you have to write it is composed of both the liquid and the cellular part. The liquid part consists of straw-colored fluid called plasma, and the cellular part is composed of 3 types of cells: red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. Okay, but in lymph is a clear straw-colored watery fluid that surrounds the body cells, and it picks up the fat and unwanted materials from the blood. Okay, so this was your difference about blood and lymph. And last difference is of areolar and adipose tissue. So for this answer you have to come back to the page number 19th. Page number 19th, areolar and adipose tissue. Okay, so areolar, these are the simple and most widely distributed connective tissues. They form a continuous layer beneath the skin. Okay, see, just look at your skin. Okay, you can do this googly boogly in your skin. Okay, so why is this? Because of the areolar tissue. Okay, so these are the simple and most widely distributed connective tissue, and they are just present beneath our skin. But adipose tissues, they are the loose connective tissues, and they are primarily located beneath the skin. Okay, now areolar, these tissues build a wide variety of body structures. Many body structures are built of them. Adipose, they provide insulation to the body by forming a thick layer of fat beneath the skin. Okay, they form a thick layer of fat beneath the skin so that our skin is protected. Now areolar, these tissues bind the skin with muscles. Our muscles are bind with the skin through areolar tissues. But adipose tissues act as an energy source. So whenever our body needs energy, that fat is converted into carbohydrates and it releases energy. Okay, so this was your areolar and adipose tissue, and with that we end up the differentiate between the following. Okay, now your last question is think critically. Okay, now we will discuss about think critically. So our first think critically is why the nerve cell is so long. Okay, so why the nerve cell is so long? I am dictating this answer, you have to write it down. Nerve cells are usually long because they need to transmit impulses over long distances within the body. Okay, why nerve cell is so long? Because they need to transmit impulses over long distances within the body. They have to transmit the impulses within the body and they have to transmit it over long distances. So that's why they are so long. Okay, now second one is we can twist our nose and external ears very easily. Why we can twist our ears and we can twist our nose very easily? Because they are made up of cartilage tissue which is flexible. We have just discussed about the cartilage, it is very flexible. Okay, so these are made up of cartilage tissue and it is very flexible. Okay, now third one is what will happen if all the platelets are removed from the blood? If we remove all the platelets from the blood, what will happen? Blood will be in more liquid form and clotting will not be there. If platelets are removed, then blood will be in completely liquid form and there will be no clotting. Okay, if you are wounded or you are injured, there will be no clotting in your blood. Okay, so this was your three think critically questions. Okay, now the last part of the chapter is diagram based question. So we have just discussed about this diagram. Okay, in the structure of neuron, you just have to name the parts. So your first part is dendrites, these hair-like extensions. Okay, these are dendrites. Second part is cell body or cyton. Then third one is this long one, axon. And the last part is axon terminals, or you can write nerve endings also. Okay, so you can finish the diagram from your book itself. So these were your long answers, think critically and diagram based questions which were left in the chapter. Now this was the last video for this chapter and here your chapter ends up. Okay, in our next video we will start discussing our new chapter. Thank you, complete your work, write down your question answers and revise the chapter. Thank you.